Lieutenant Gosnell, please bring in the 25th Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department's recruit class. Recruit class, post.
Major Snider, sir, 25th recruit class is present and accounted for, prepared for graduation.
Thank you, sir. Would everybody please rise for the presentation of colors by the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department's Chief's Honor Guard.
Detail. Halt. Ready. Please.
Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Post.
Arms. Order, arms. Cover.
Ready. Please. Forward. March.
Please remain standing for the invocation by Reverend John Russell, Jr.
Let us pray. Today we celebrate the outward expression of all the hard work that has taken place over the last few months, bringing together both your personal family and now your work family. God, we celebrate and ask for your blessings and coverings for these men and women who have decided to serve and support the city of Indianapolis. Give us your grace to keep them and strength to sustain them as they walk into this new calling of service and relationship. Bless and cover us all. Amen. You may be seated.
Good afternoon. I'm Major Aaron Snider of the IMPD Training Academy, and I'd like to welcome and thank all of you for joining us here today for the graduation ceremony of the 25th IMPD recruit class. Before we get started, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank and acknowledge those who are joining us today and who have played a vital role in recruiting, hiring, and training our recruits. First off, Mayor Joseph Hogsett, thank you for being here. Chief Randall Taylor and his command staff for their continued support. Members of the IMPD Merit Board and members of the Indianapolis City County Council. The Law Enforcement Training Academy Executive Director Timothy Horty for joining us today, and Deputy Director Jennifer Foltz. I'd also like to thank Lieutenant Gregory Strail and his staff, the IMPD Recruiting Unit, and a group that's near and dear to my heart and that I have the utmost respect for on a day-to-day basis for everything that they've accomplished, and that's the IMPD Training Academy staff. Without them, we could not make this happen. I'd also like to thank Newfields for providing this beautiful facility to hold graduation, the Indy Public Safety Foundation for their support through all this, but most importantly, I'd like to thank the friends and family of our graduates, because without you, we could not do this, and they could not be successful. So becoming an IMPD officer is not easy. The recruits here today went through months of testing, including physical, mental, and medical evaluations, just to earn a right to be a part of the 25th recruit class. On September 2nd, 2022, the 20 men and women before you began 6 months and over 1,000 hours of academic, physical, practical, and scenario-based training. This does not include the countless hours they spent at home studying and preparing for the next day. The academy is not easy, and we never said it would be. It takes commitment and sacrifice to complete the 26 weeks of training. To the 25th IMPD recruit class, congratulations. The training staff and I are very proud of what you've accomplished over the last 6 months, and we are excited to see what you will accomplish throughout the rest of your careers. Be proud, stand tall, and hold your head high. Today you become a police officer and will wear the badge of the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department. At this time, I'd like to welcome Mayor Hogsett to the podium to say a few words. Mayor Hogsett.
Thank you, Major. Appreciate it. Well, welcome to this class commencement, the 25th recruit class commencement, not just our honorees and graduates, but to their families and friends. This is a beautiful setting in which we get together for such an important ceremony. First off, and on behalf of the city of Indianapolis, I want to extend my gratitude once again to our 25th IMPD recruit class. As I said back in September, at your swearing-in ceremony, you have chosen to join during an era of change for Indianapolis and for the IMPD. New training, new technology, new wages, and new facilities. The Community Justice Campus, for example, fast approaching 1 year of operation. It represents a quantum leap over past facilities. Right next door, the Assessment and Intervention Center, representing our city's commitment to better treatment for illness and addiction, as well as a reduction in the burden on our police officers. And coming later this year, a clinician-led response team to cover health-related emergencies. Once again, this effort redirects our limited resources, but allows us to be as effective as possible. And it too will free up law enforcement officers to do what they do best: protect and serve faithfully and impartially. You also join at a time of increased recruitment in the second year of a $150 million violence reduction plan. We are funded for an additional 100 officers to join today's graduates. IMPD and the City of Indianapolis have reached out to communities of faith, to immigrant communities, as well as other agencies and departments in our city and in other cities. Those efforts are serving not only to bolster the department, but also to strengthen its abilities through diversity and inclusivity. In short, you are part of a new era, a brand new era, one that already has achieved measurable declines in both violent and nonviolent crimes. So for choosing to protect our city after several years of enormous challenge, for your dedication during your training these last several months, and indeed for the step, the important step you take here today on behalf of our entire city. I give you our collective thanks.
Thank you, Mayor Hogsett. I'd now like to welcome Chief of Police Randall Taylor to the podium. Chief.
Good afternoon. It's exciting. It's exciting to be here. I imagine exciting for you guys who are graduating. But let me tell you how my day started and why I'm excited. So this morning when I got up, I was thinking to myself, what am I going to say to these 20 graduates? And it came to me as I was taking a time out to pray. There's a scripture that came up in Luke chapter 9, verse 23 and 24, and I won't read it for you, but it says in there that Jesus expects us to carry our cross daily. And what stuck out to me was that word daily, because that is exactly what you guys are going to have to do. You're going to have to be at your best, not just today, but every day that you put that uniform on and you go out on the streets. The good thing is, I believe you're prepared to do it. I believe you're excited, as I am, to see what you're going to accomplish, the different things that you'll learn about, because you know, we're congratulating you on your graduations, but this isn't the first graduation you've had, right? You know, some people celebrate graduations from elementary school to middle school and middle school to high school. Some of you all of you graduated from high school, and some of you graduated from college. And what you probably learned during that time is, yeah, it's exciting to go to that next step, but the graduation is really just the beginning. So I have complete confidence in our training staff that they have trained you on how to be the best police officer you can be. But this is just the beginning. Where you go from here is completely up to you. Now, you're going to be confronted with a lot of different things, and I think we all know that. People are going to evaluate. People are watching you, right? We put body cameras on you so people can watch and see what you're experiencing. I believe you guys are going to make the right decisions and do the right things to the point that we're not going to be worried about what's on that body cam. You're going to see some horrific things, no doubt, but you're going to excel at how you address those issues, and I'm excited about that. Too much of our society believes in kind of a Happy Meal type of existence. Now, don't get me wrong. I've had and I've bought plenty of Happy Meals for myself and my kids. I even, you know, if you ask me to go get one today, I might do it and enjoy the little prize that comes with it. But when my family was coming up, it was just me and my mom, because my dad had passed away. But as much as I loved going to get Happy Meals, I really did appreciate sitting down at the table and slowing down and taking time out to speak with my mom, who was a great cook, and savoring that meal. So there's a time for Happy Meal, but there's also more time to make sure that we're slowing down and doing things right, taking into account the advantages that we have. And I hope that you will continue to do that as you work the street. Unfortunately, too many people want to take care of things quickly. They want a quick, self-imposed justice because of wrongs that they believe were committed against them. That's not right. We got to help people slow down. Now, the thing is, as police officers, you're going to be put in incredibly difficult situations. And I do want you to protect yourselves and be mindful of safety issues. But you know, we can be safe, but we can respect people at the same time. As chief, I see complaints, I see praise as well. But you know, it's interesting, the complaints and the praises are really dependent on how that person was treated. Those who felt that they were treated properly and respectfully, a lot of praise, even when they've been arrested and done things that are wrong in the eyes of the law. Those who haven't been happy are more those who feel they've been disrespected. And in some cases, they are correct. Not in all, but in some they are. You know, there was Maya Angelou said in one of her quotes that I've always liked, they may forget your name, they may forget what you've said, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. I think that is important for us in law enforcement to take those things into account. Now, I know you got a lot on your plates. You're asked to do so many different things, and I appreciate you. I honestly believe you guys will succeed in this. You wouldn't be here if the training staff didn't believe you were prepared and ready to go, or the merit board, or any of the number of hurdles that you've had to go through. If you hadn't successfully migrated yourself through those things, you wouldn't be here, but you are here. So in my mind, that means you are the best that could be offered, and we'll accept the best, and we'll expect the best. Lastly, let me say this. This is my 36th year in law enforcement. And I will tell you, when I started in 1987, I thought, man, I'm going to be a patrol officer. Woo-hoo, I'm going to go out and help. Now, this is a much smaller department in another state. But I cannot believe how quickly I've gotten to this point. You guys are starting out. You'll hit the street here very shortly, and you'll turn around and you'll be 10 years into your career, or 20 years, or 30. Now, if you're still here after 40, we need to talk. Someone will have to walk me off that ledge. But point is, you've only got a brief amount of time to make the impact, the positive impact I know that you're going to make on this city. I tell people, and I don't know if they ever do it. I was told, and I unfortunately didn't do it. I should have. But I remember back in college, I had an instructor that said, when you get on your first department, you should keep a diary of the different things that you experience. And I regret that over my 36 years, I didn't do that. I remember most of them, but there's ones that are going to be incredibly impactful, and you're going to look back on that, and if you keep track, whether mentally or on a piece of paper or now electronically, whatever you're going to do, if you look back, you're going to see that impact that you've had on a number of people, hopefully all for the good. We've had examples of people who have been going down the wrong path that have turned it around and really made incredible comebacks. Some even became your peers, or will become your peers. Keep those things in mind as you go out. Obviously, I want you to be safe. I want you to be able to go home at night, but honestly, I want more for you and from you. I want you, when you're done with your shift, whatever shift you get, when you're done with it, I want you to be able to look back on that shift and say, you know what? I did a great job. I made a difference somewhere, some way, in the positive, whether it's for the community or fellow officers or whatever. I want you to be able to go to bed and have sweet sleep because you did it right. That is certainly within your grasp. Lastly, let me say this. This month we are celebrating Women's History. And in law enforcement, when I started, there were only a handful of females, women, that were committed to the job. Not that there weren't those out there that could have, but for whatever reason, they weren't able to get on the department, chose not to, or whatever. Things have changed dramatically over my 36 years, all for the better, from the standpoint of women being involved. I won't tell you, I'm not going to make judgment calls on which gender is better. That would be stupid. But what I will say is this, working together, it's incredible. There are needs on both sides of that equation. So I applaud. I have a number of women on my executive staff for a reason, because they're needed. New officers, it's women, you're needed. For all of you out there who are women, mothers, sisters, aunts, cousins, officers, future officers, thank you. I'll celebrate you this month and every month. My wife told me to say that. Yeah. I love her too, she's incredible. But please, there's a lot going through your mind, I understand that. Make sure that you decide to respect and appreciate people. Not just some of them. Appreciate all of them. Help them where you can. Do what's right. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Taylor. I'd now like to welcome to the stage Recruit Officer Tara Butcher. Butcher was selected by her peers to represent the 25th recruit class.
Good afternoon. As many of you may have heard, every day in roll call throughout the academy, someone was lucky enough to give a 3-minute speech. My classmates have bestowed the honor upon me to give the last one for the 25th recruit class. The difference being, the staff actually gave me time to prepare for this one and didn't make me give it on the spot. That might have been a mistake. If I can talk for 3 minutes unprepared, surely they should have known that I wouldn't be able to keep it to 3 minutes with time to prepare. To our family and friends supporting us today, thank you. The last 6 months have been long and have required sacrifices on our end, but even more so on your end. We chose to make that sacrifice, you didn't, but you've supported us anyways. The Academy's required us to give a lot of ourselves to our training, not leaving as much as we would have liked for the people that we love. Thank you for being patient with us. Please know that while this profession means a great deal to each one of us, it will never be as meaningful to us as you are. And my hope is that our time and our priorities will reflect that throughout our careers. If there comes a time that it doesn't, say something. If there's one thing that the Academy has taught us, accountability from those around us isn't a bad thing. From time to time, we all benefit from the people around us keeping us in line, just like Officer Scott is always sure to keep our thumbs in line at parade rest during roll call. Thanks, Officer Scott. Since you all watched us take an oath on September 2nd, we've had the most fun we'll never want to have again. We've studied law for countless hours. Officer Pennington has whipped us into the best shape of our lives. Officer Young has taught us how to use our words to talk down a resistor, but also taught us how to properly use force when we have to. The range staff has turned us into sharpshooters. Well, some of us. The SWAT team has taught us unmatched tactics for arrest teams, building clearing, and active killer response. Sergeant Barrow and the EVO staff have taught us that we could drive faster and better than we ever thought we could. Well, again, some of us. And the FTO staff has put us through countless scenarios that have made us all eager to get out there and start doing the job for real. For some of us, doing the job for real starts as early as tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. And maybe we weren't that eager. We wouldn't have complained about one day off. When we walked through the Academy doors 6 months ago, we walked in as 20 individuals. Today we walked into this room as 20 parts of a single unit. Each person has offered something unique that has helped bring us together as a team. We could always count on Jordan Reagan to throw out a random comment during class, whether it be appropriate or not, that would make us laugh. We could always count on Morgie to take charge and tell us what to do or raise his hand first, even if he had absolutely no idea what was going on. We could always count on Whitfield to be the one missing when we were all supposed to be back in class because he was hiding out in his office. We could always count on Maya to ask a question every time it was asked if there were questions. And no, Maya, there won't be questions. This is a speech. We could always count on Watson to be sure our guidon came with us everywhere we went, so we didn't lose it. We could always count on Gore, or Margaret Martha Marie, as we've come to call her, to make a sassy comment and put people in their place when it was needed, and maybe even sometimes when it wasn't. We could always count on Brent to walk in 30 seconds before we had to roll call, but somehow managed to be ready for roll call every single time. We could always count on Buckner to be the quiet leader who led with his actions rather than his words. To the firefighters, thank you for taking this journey with us. We are better because we had you as a part of our class. You've had our backs from day one, and you've taught us many valuable lessons along the way. Congrats on earning your police badge and finally becoming true heroes. To the staff, thank you for pouring so much time, thought, and effort into our development as police officers. Thanks for teaching us that people can be a lot like Sour Patch Kids. Sour one second and sweet the next. Officer Saunders, thank you for letting us shoot you with sim rounds at the range and for teaching us the importance of community policing. Also, Jordan Reagan wanted me to be sure to remind you that cocoa butter is the best lotion for hands. Officer Scott, thank you for teaching us how to use the computer systems we'll use day to day on the street to make our jobs easier. Officer Payeras Ochoa, thank you for teaching us emergency Spanish. I know it was painful to listen to some of our accents, especially when Jerebic said, "por favor." Officer Vanek, thank you for teaching us how to write a proper report to increase the chances that our charges stick. Officer Fall, thank you for teaching us the importance of understanding mental health crises and how to best handle them. Officer Bowling, thank you for teaching us how to conduct proper unknown risk and high-risk vehicle stops. Officer Young, thank you for teaching us both verbal and physical skills that I'm sure will save our lives more than once. Officer Pennington, thank you for developing us into tactical athletes. I swear I'd never drink the CrossFit juice, but you made me, and I love it. Officer Gross, thank you for teaching us the importance of staying in the fight, even when it might feel like we have nothing else to give. Officer Ryan, thank you for teaching us how to identify armed persons and best tactics to defuse situations when people are armed with something other than a gun. Sergeant Portell, thank you for spending hours upon hours teaching us law and making it interesting. Sergeant Barrow, thank you for teaching us geographical orientation, even though we'll all still probably end up getting lost. I'm so sorry to those with rotations on Southeast and Southwest. Sergeant Patterson, thank you for teaching us the importance behind knowing and living out our mission statement and values each day when we come to work. Sergeant Pilkington, thank you for teaching us how important it is to police with integrity and hold ourselves and our brothers and sisters to a high standard. And last but not least, Lieutenant Gosnell, thank you for teaching us that the consequences of incompetence are final, not only for ourselves, but for all others who wear the badge. Thank you for teaching us that this is a profession where nothing is given, it is all earned. To my classmates, we've made it through training. We have earned our badge. I hope you take time to celebrate that accomplishment, and I hope you also remember that the training never stops. If we are going to be the best officers that we can be for our families, our fellow officers, and our community, we will make a commitment to continue to train. As Officer Lasley says, we're big city police officers now. It won't be easy, but we've spent the last 6 months doing tough things like getting pepper sprayed, tased, and beat up by the red man. So it's a challenge I know that everyone can face. As we face that challenge, we will fail and we will make mistakes. Embrace them, remember how dumb they made you feel, and learn from them. The days of the instructors submitting us to physical corrective action to fix our mistakes are done, thank God. It is now on us to hold ourselves and each other accountable. For our family and friends that might not know what physical corrective action is, it's when the instructors make us do things like hold planks and wall sits until they get tired. I'm sure by now you're tired of hearing me talk, so I'll summarize the rest. Slow down, utilize tactical breathing, remember the resources that you have available to you, be able to switch gears, utilize distance and barriers to keep yourself in positive time, listen to people, Speak to and treat people with respect. And don't be afraid to reach out for help when you need it. There's absolutely no shame in allowing someone to help you work through the things that this profession will inevitably expose you to. I am honored that you chose me to speak on behalf of all of us today. Thank you, and I love each and every one of you. Standards held high, we are 25.
Thank you, Recruit Officer Butcher. Mayor Hogsett, would you please like to join me back here at the podium for the oath of office?
Thank you. I brought my own, too. Members of Recruit Class 25 of the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Indiana, and I will discharge my duties regardless of race, creed, color, religion, sex, or national origin of the persons I serve. And that I will faithfully and impartially discharge my duties as a patrol officer of the City of Indianapolis under this appointment, according to the law and the city ordinances, to the best of my ability. So help me God. Congratulations, class. Thank you.
Would the award presenters please make their way towards the stage? We're now going to present 9 awards to the recruits who set themselves apart throughout the academy. The first award is going to be for academic achievement, presented by Nicole Pilkington.
Good afternoon. The IMPD Academic Achievement Award is sponsored by the Police and Firemen's Insurance Association. The academic award winner was decided by the overall cumulative average from exams and quizzes. Going right down to the wire with the final Phase 3 exam, the winner of this award with an overall average of 98.23% is Levi Buckner.
The next award will be for Best Mental Attitude, presented by Officer Damon Young.
And I'm going to transfer this honor over to the president of the Eastside Optimist Club, Dr. Jeffrey Leibowitz.
Well, I represent the Eastside Optimist Club, a group of community members, retired people, and our club is a service club, but it does not come close to the service you provide. Now, the Best Mental Attitude Award is elected by your peers. It's not an instructor-driven award, and so you guys elected it. And imagine that every one of you deserves a Best Mental Attitude Award, especially when you know you're going to go to work that day and get tased, sprayed, possibly somebody's going to try to drown you, but you come back to work the next day with the possibility of that day being even worse. So you guys all deserve the Best Mental Attitude Award. Along with this award comes a perpetual plaque that will be hosted in the halls. There's an individual plaque, and we have a monetary award. So the winner of this year, would Officer Ethan McLean please come up?
The next award is for criminal law, presented by John Kautzman.
Good afternoon. My name is John Kautzman. I am a partner with the law firm Ruckelhaus Kautzman Blackwell. Our firm has been proud and privileged to represent the members of the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department for more than 50 years now. In 1968, we started as general counsel for local FOP Lodge 86 and have been privileged to serve the men and women of IPD since then. It is really a great joy for my partners and I to do everything it takes to represent the interests of the officers of IMPD, and it is our privilege to serve. Today, as we have been honored, we now honor you for your sacrifice and for your service and what I am sure is going to be a great career for all of you going forward. So my heartfelt congratulations of my entire firm to all of the recruit graduates today, and good luck to you in your future endeavors. We are pleased to award the Criminal Law Award, which includes a monetary award, and the special recipient is Tara Butcher.
The next award is for emergency vehicle operations, presented by Deputy Chief Joshua Barker.
On behalf of President Danny Overly and the Board of Directors of the Professional Police Officers Credit Union, it's a privilege to present the award for emergency vehicle operations. That's a whole lot of fun. It's like a field trip from the academy. It's a lot of driving for the recruits. It's a lot of Dramamine for the instructors. But it's no easy feat. The award winner is chosen as a culmination of over 20 hours of classroom instruction and 40 hours of driving on the EVOC pad out at ILEA. Now, as a member of the 98th recruit class, I hold two distinct honors. The first, I was the EVO award winner for my recruit class. The second, I was the first one to total a police car on the third day of driving in FTO. So, I know that this award winner, as all of you, will clear your intersections appropriately, but congratulations to Officer Levi Buckner.
The next award is for firearms training, presented by Sergeant Bryson Gardner.
Congratulations. Good afternoon. I'm Sergeant Garner. I'm one of the firearms training instructors, supervisors at the range. The 25th recruit class completed over 120 hours of training with the firearms training unit. During that time, 1 week was spent learning to fire their duty pistol. The second remaining weeks, recruits applied classroom knowledge in practical scenarios, learning through experience when to use force and when to use restraint. verbal de-escalation, communication skills, use of barriers, and application of less lethal weapons were trained and tested. Upon completion, the recruit officer has successfully passed 6 shooting qualifications. A written exam demonstrated proficiency in handling their firearm. The Top Gun Award is presented in recognition of outstanding firearm proficiency. The Top Gun Award recipient for the 25th recruit class is Officer John Finch.
The award for physical training is presented by Officer Carrie Pennington.
The IMPD Training Academy has always put physical fitness as one of its top priorities, and for good reason. The 25th IMPD recruit class was required to meet physical standards ranging from sit-ups, push-ups, 300-meter dash, and a 1.5 mile run. This is where we would come in to assist. For 26 weeks, instructors would help condition the recruits, but from time to time, these recruits would need some reminding of certain protocols of the academy rules. These reminders would be handed out by, let's say, some front lean rest, and dare I say, burpees. Every recruit has demonstrated and passed exit standards. Most have even met Spartan, and some have even touched on Olympian standards. This, you all know, warms my heart. However, one recruit stood out above the rest in physical ability, leadership, and mental toughness. The Physical Fitness Award for the 25th IMPD recruit class goes to Zachary Flory.
The next award is the Larry Stipe Survival Tactics Award, presented by Officer Damon Young.
So the Larry Stipe Survival Tactics Award is sponsored by the Jake Laird Foundation. They were unable to be here today, but they want to express their support and message of hope for you guys who are going out there in just a few hours. Keep your head up, keep your head on a swivel. Survival Tactics program is a hard program. It's difficult. Many of these recruits come in with very little formal training in the application of physical force. And we're expected in 6 months to make them confident and competent that they can go into an unknown environment and deal with an unknown threat who doesn't have to play by our rules. So our training is hard for a reason. But our survival tactics program would be incomplete without our de-escalation program. And so with this decision on who the staff was going to choose as who represents what our mission in our survival tactics program is, they have to encompass both the ability to communicate verbally with people, to have that physical presence. Not necessarily they have to be large and muscular and scary, but the confidence to communicate with people they don't know, who have motives that they're unaware of, in ways that allow that person to make a decision and to comply voluntarily. And when they don't, to be able to make the right decision, to use appropriate levels of force to control their resistant behavior. And so this recruit has demonstrated that time and time again. The ability to keep a level head, to not become overly emotionally involved in these difficult situations and these scenarios that we've created for them. We try to make it as chaotic as we can, but this recruit has kept his composure every time. And so for that, we are honored to present Matthew Whitfield with the Survival Tactics Award.
Way to go, Matt.
The next award is the Leadership Award, presented by Sergeant Nicole Pilkington.
I'm back. The IMPD Leadership Award was selected by the Training Academy staff. Nominees were judged based on how they met the following criteria: the level of formal and informal leadership the individual recruit officer displayed throughout the recruit training process, assistance the individual recruit officer provided instructors, staff, and fellow recruit officers, demonstrated readiness to volunteer their personal time on and off duty, demonstrated effective mentoring of fellow recruit officers, demonstrated the tenets of the leadership test, doing the right thing at the right time, in the right way, and for the right reasons. On behalf of the IMPD Leadership Academy alumni, the winner of this award is Tara Butcher.
The Fraternal Order of Police, 86, sponsors the class speaker, the class rep. At this time, I'd like to call up Rick Snyder, who'd say a few words.
Good afternoon. On behalf of our 3,000 members of the Indianapolis Fraternal Order of Police, I want to congratulate the recruit class on this accomplishment and also encourage you to buckle up. It's getting ready to get real quick. And we look forward to walking right alongside with you. The role of being a class representative is something that is near and dear to our heart. No one knows the challenges that a law enforcement officer faces better than another police officer. And we know that well. It also means that it's not always the easiest job or task to take upon. And it also means that sometimes you have to have the tough discussions on behalf of those that you represent. Right, Mayor? Right, Chief? And it means good collaboration and leadership as well. So with that spirit, we are pleased to announce that the Class Representative Award goes to Tara Butcher.
Chief Taylor, if you please join me up here at the podium for the presentation of the Richard I. Blankenbaker Overall Achievement Award. The Richard I. Blankenbaker Overall Achievement Award winner is the recruit with the highest average score across 6 categories. They are academics, emergency vehicle operations, firearms, survival tactics, physical training, and law. For the IMPD 25th recruit class, winner of the Richard I. Blankenbaker Overall Achievement Award is Recruit Officer Tara Butcher. Mayor Hogsett, Deputy Chief Cummings, if you would like to join Chief Taylor on the stage, we'll do the presentation of the badges. Officer William Bender. Officer Justin Brent. Officer Levi Buckner. Officer Tara Butcher. Officer Nebe Da. Officer John Finch. Officer Zachary Flory. Officer Mackenzie Gore. Officer John Jerabek. Officer James Jordan Reagan. Officer Javante Litt. Officer Mason Mae. Officer Ethan McLean. Officer William McMillan. Officer Caleb Morgie. Officer Grant Snyder. Officer Isaiah Soto. Officer Anderson Vilma. Officer William Watson. Officer Matthew Whitfield. Ladies and gentlemen, I present you the 25th IMPD recruit class. Would IFD Assistant Chief Michael White please join the Chief and the Mayor on stage? This year, the Indianapolis Fire Department had 2 fire investigators join the 25th recruit class. They also attended 6 months of training and over 1,000 hours of work at the Academy. At this time, we would like to recognize them. First, Captain Robert Finley. Captain Mark Corti. Sergeant Patterson, you please dismiss the class. I would like to thank everybody again for coming to and celebrating with us for the 25th IMPD recruit class. I would like to thank Newfields again for hosting us this year. Please, there's some drinks and refreshments outside. Feel free to stick around and take some photos. This will conclude our ceremony for today. Thank you very much for joining us.